What is up, everybody? I hope you are enjoying your Sunday or whatever day you're watching this on. If you're watching it in the middle of the week, we will be back in about 5 minutes. We are over on Scott Mendenhall YouTube channel watching the race. And if you want to figure out and find out how I shredded my Uggs and how they're just now only good for the garbage, then go over there, watch the race, come back, and we'll get started. But if you want to just skip ahead 5 minutes and wait till you see our faces again, you can do that. See you in a little bit.
standing.
She is standing.
Alive.
Yep.
Welcome to Unlock Church, where we are live as racers. So, if you don't know, my name is Scott Mendenhall. This is...
These are his friends. My name is Lily.
Well, not your friends?
What?
Well,
No,
said his
wait.
friends.
It is Scott Mendenhall and friends. We are his friends.
Okay, yes. But we have...
Kristen.
And Joey.
And then behind them, you got the DJ
Hi,
doing the music,
Brian.
Brian back there. Thank you, Brian,
Brian.
for doing the music. All right, hey, I let's come to the tight shot here. I am sure you're all wanting to know what happened to Kristen. One, if you were watching the video, she rides so fast. Like,
So fast.
it's just silly. Like, we look like
It's
we're...
nerve-wracking.
To
Being
be
behind
there?
her, feeling like you're going fast, seeing her go.
But we have to
Fast.
ride equally just as fast to even have a chance to
It's
keep
true.
up with her. And it doesn't seem to happen.
It doesn't.
Kristen, I'm sure everybody wants to know how you're doing, so let's get that out of the way. How are you doing, Kristen?
I'm doing so good. I'm doing really good. My muscles were a little bit sore, and my knee was like kind of feeling weird, but it's all feeling better now. I just have a scrape on that knee. And yeah, holes in my coat, holes in my Uggs.
Joey, what was your
Yeah.
thoughts when you
Yep.
were, as we come back here, Epic, when I'm saying coming back here to Epic, my son is running the video switcher, and I'm
He's
just
doing awesome.
trying to coach him a little bit there. But nonetheless, Joey, when you came in on the scene where Kristen is eating the pavement,
Yeah.
what were you thinking?
She straight up ate the pavement. But like I was like in front of her when she wiped out, and
Yeah.
like it was like a straight belly slide on pavement. Like I was thinking if this was summer, this could have been absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was. I'm glad she's okay. Let's just.
Joey
put
was
it that way.
hilarious
I
because-
every time like something bad happens, though, I'm like quiet.
That's,
I'm
Yeah,
like-
that's what I was
exactly.
just gonna
I'm
say.
just,
Joey
like, quiet.
was hilarious
I'm like,
because
are you okay?
I'm trying to get Joey's reaction for the video, and he's just like,
Just quiet.
and then he's like, go to the side, because we're in the middle of the road.
Yeah, like,
There's
what are we doing in the middle
no
of the
question
road?
of Joey going, like, anything hurt, can you move? He's like, let's get off the road. Like, I roll up and I'm
Yeah,
just like,
before we get hit by a car, you know, I'm trying to save
Yeah,
you guys. I'm trying to help you guys.
yeah, true.
And then Kristen's like, I just made a second. And I was like, you're done. Like, you're not getting back on the board. And then the timer went off.
And the timer
So
went
it's
off.
like very timely, I guess.
Okay, so we're gonna shift a little bit. She's okay.
Yeah.
Did she win?
She lost the foxtail inside the time limit, and Lily picked it up.
I don't want to be the fox.
That means
No, I don't think that's what it should mean. But we should.
I thought we discussed
Wait,
that.
I'm
That's
confused.
not how you win.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
what
have to
checking. I was
pull the
just
fox
checking.
I thought you had to pull it.
Okay.
we do.
Yeah.
I was just seeing where we stood on
I think
it.
we just never mind. I don't even.
What,
wanna say it. I don't
Joey?
even want to say.
I
it.
think
What?
no.
I'm gonna sound like such a. We might just have to stop doing fox races.
What?
because I don't know. We're gonna catch Kristen.
No, we need to catch
This girl is
Kristen.
so fast.
It would be a total cop out if we put it on me, and we need to catch her.
You need
We
to
gotta
catch her.
We need a smaller area.
Okay, we'll figure out on catching her. But the fox is still Kristen. I was just trying to be a little controversial there to get a little rise on everybody. Mark Javier said, "Oh no, did he say my baby got
My
hurt?"
baby got hurt.
He's a Kristen fan. He's a Kristen
He is,
fan,
yeah.
and he's like, "Oh no, she got hurt.
I did, but I'm
No,
all
Mark.
better.
No,
I'm all
Mark.
better.
My baby got hurt.
She got
Dang
hurt."
it! I wanted you to be on my face with that. No, Mark. My baby got hurt.
Mark, good to see you in there. Mark thought we didn't have a race last week, so he didn't catch.
Oh.
He didn't. So it's good to see you,
It
Mark.
is good to see your name, Mark. We always
Thank
love
you.
having
For everybody that's in the chat, man, say hello. Tell us where you're watching from today. Here in Minnesota, it's cold and we got some snow. It is awesome.
It's beautiful.
We have people in the studio right now holding signs up in the back saying Lily's the fox. Just saying.
No, not happening.
So
I
they're.
feel like those people are slightly biased because they're your children.
But they don't root for me. Legend is
Legend.
is a Joey
He's
fan.
had my
Okay,
back for a long
we have
time.
so much planned for today. We're so glad to have you with us. I'm just gonna grab my iPad really quick and say hello to people in the chat. We got Noah from Canada in the
Noah.
chat.
Love
Thank
Noah.
you. Love seeing your name. Mary McClendon.
Woo-woo.
Poor Lily.
What?
Maybe if I had to be the fox.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Matt Vernon's in the chat. Good to see him. Elizabeth Nichols. Good to see your name popping up. Mark, again, seeing your name in there. Zach Adams.
That's right.
It's me, Pulse. I think they said they're from Minnesota earlier when I was reading that.
Nice.
Good to have you. Colin's in there. Laura Gilbert. Derek, hi.
Hi.
You said hi to everyone. We're saying hi to you.
Hi, Derek. I would like to teach your kids CrossFit. I think they'd be phenomenal.
Okay, there you go. All right, thank you so much. It's so cool to see everybody in the chat today. Stick around. Today we're talking about how to deal with everybody's hot mess.
Love it.
And what is a hot mess? Are you a hot mess?
Right here.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we're excited about that. We're going to put a phone number up on the screen. Not only do we want to know where you're watching, we'd love to see your faces, where you're watching. Snap a picture of where you're watching, who you're watching with. It gets us excited
Does.
to see.
Yeah.
I love
Okay.
some
Picture
faces.
of your morning coffee.
And then if you're wondering next week, if we can go to the wide shot, next week's race will be a team race. Kristen and I versus Joey and Lily.
Let's go, Lily.
It's gonna be good. First race of the year. We're gonna see if Lily and Joey can actually get a W in 2021.
Hey, we can.
We
We
can. It
totally
hasn't happened yet.
We can,
It's
but will we?
still early.
It's still early. Kristen
It's
has
really
made
early.
$300 in 3 wins. I've got 1 win.
Good job.
Lily,
0.
Joey,
0.
Just checking.
Stinking 0.
maybe what we need to do is go back to the basketball game on one
Yes.
wheel.
Wait. We did win that. That was a team race.
Yeah.
We did
Oh,
win.
Yeah, but not in
Not in
2021.
No, but we have won a team race.
Yes, great
basketball.
job. Okay, phone number's going up on the screen. Text the pictures to the number. We will post it right after this video, your pictures. So snap them with your dog, with your friends, your family. Let us know where you're watching from. We're stoked. We're going to share it online.
Yeah, we're gonna put your face on the big screen. Let's go.
Well, unless you're watching on an iPhone or another phone.
Nonetheless.
Is there any other phones besides the iPhone?
No, I think it's only the iPhone.
I think it's
There's
the
no
iPhone.
other phones
No,
that
that's
exist.
it.
Yeah.
An Android.
An Android. What is that? That's like
an
Stone Age.
It's
Android.
Microsoft, right?
I think that's like the equivalent of like a flip phone.
Well, yeah, for all the Android phone users out there. Okay, we are excited to be starting something back up here at Unlock Church where you're invited wherever you're watching around the world. We're going to set it up with this video, and then we'll tell you when and how, right after this, how you can hang with us live throughout the week, where we're just going to sit around, sip hot chocolate, cocoa, whatever you want to do, and we're going to chat. So check out this video. It'll set it up what we're talking about. Here you go. Enjoy this.
In the winter of 2008, Elroy Jacobs and his brother-in-law Wyatt entered the remote icy tundra of northern Saskatchewan to make a documentary film about social isolation. The team was never heard from again. Later that summer, their footage was discovered by a group of caribou hunters. What you are about to see is that very same footage.
It's a cold world out there, folks. And I'm not talking about global warming. I'm talking about the winter of the soul.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but it is cold right here. It is cold. It's cold right here.
And right here we are in lovely northern Saskatchewan.
Also known as winter's bedpan.
We are here to experience the world at its coldest, a beautiful metaphor of how we have cut the heart of humanity, and all we do is care more about ourselves than anything else than anybody else. Oh yes, my friends, it is cold.
I have no idea what your flowery, artsy words mean, but I am freezing.
Where can we find the warmth of community? Like what's found in the good book of 1 John 1:7, where it says, we must have rich, full fellowship, like that you'd find in a small group.
Yes, let's go join a small group, one that meets indoors where it is warm right now.
And lest I remind you of Romans 12:16, where it says we must live in harmony.
Which is just the opposite of what I'm about to do to you right now.
And unlike my compadre right here, we must do what James 4:11 says, and we must speak with wholesome words to one another.
Speaking of wholesome words, parents, please cup your children's ears, for I'm about to let go with a slew of words to express just how cold I am. I'm talking words that are generally reserved for hockey players and pageant moms.
We gotta stop worrying so much about Botox and this, and there's an app for that, and texting instead of talking, and we want things now, and Facebook until we're foul. All right, my friend, you're just proving my point here. You're just proving my point.
No, I am calling 911. My phone is frozen. It doesn't work. I'm losing feeling in my lower extremities. Stand down.
I just don't think people care anymore.
Why don't you care about me?
Don't get lost in the cold. Join a small group. It's what Wyatt and Elroy would have wanted.
Join a small group, which means
Join a small group.
we're kicking off small groups again the week after,
The Super Bowl.
which is in 2 weeks.
Yep.
They will be online, and that means anyone in the world can join in. We'll have links at unlockchurch.com where you can click and join in, where we'll have hot topics and a game and a lot of fun things happening in our small groups. It's in 2 weeks, so we're giving you plenty of time to get ready for it, okay? So get ready, join a small group.
Yes.
It's in 2 weeks.
We'll be there.
It'll be
We'd love to
Tuesday
meet
and
you.
Thursday nights. It's gonna be great. We'd
Love
love
it.
to meet you. It's so cool to meet Leo and Dan months ago when we did it before Christmas. So we're bringing them back. Excited to hang out with each other and do life together. So Andy Block, great comment. I have my iPad here where you're like, you just need some short people to catch the foxtail. I do agree with that
It was
statement a
really
little
difficult.
bit. Not to remove any of the skill and talent that Kristen does possess. She is a fast rider and talented. Okay, so I'm not taking anything away from her. But I do think when it comes to that foxtail, for me, it's like down to my ankles to have to grab.
Yes, you would have to squat quite low.
Yeah. We do have some people making comments. Amy is talking about Androids last longer and perform better than Apple.
Wow.
I knew that people would be passionate about it, so it's good to, we're waking up some people this morning. Woohoo! Yes, we're excited. Somebody asked, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later, how in the world do we stay so positive when crazy things happen in our lives? We're going to share how in a little bit. We have some live music. We have a story time with Rachel here in a second. But before we do that, we're going to get to some pictures. Do we have pictures loaded up? We're going to share pictures where people are watching all over the world. While we load those up, let's actually go to story time with Rachel. Look, we got Rachel in the house.
Hey,
Rachel!
How are you?
Story time with Rachel. I like this.
And she gets her own little microphone and everything. Rachel.
You need to see your
Feels
beautiful
special.
face.
Step right into
Oh.
here. There you go. It's
I-
a little bit short for you.
It's like, I don't know.
Get
it's,
right up on it. There you go.
There we go.
It's like, I don't know. It's in my zone. I don't
It's
like
my
it.
zone.
If you were,
You look
if
like
you
a
were to
worship
sing
leader.
any song right now, what would it be?
Just dance.
Of course, it's a Lady Gaga song. I love it.
Okay.
I don't know.
One, your birthday's in 2 weeks.
No.
This week,
Thursday.
Thursday.
It's
I
in-
know.
It's in
Woo!
Yeah. That's
20.
scary. 27.
7. I remember when
I
you
know.
turned 24
Like
and you
young.
said that was so old.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, now I'm in my upper 20s. I feel
I'm
ancient.
I would like to say you're in your late 20s.
Late-
Just saying,
oh,
late 20s.
Is that any better?
Nope, it's way worse.
Okay.
Way worse. Okay, so speaking of the stories that you were asking, how do we stay so positive when crazy things happen? She has a crazy story, and we want her to share, and then we're going to play a little game. And this is where we're going to give away a deluxe package of hair coloring and all those with our great friend Kaylee, who owns her own business. So this is how so pay attention to the story. We're going to ask 3 options at the end of this question, or the story of what happened, and you get it right, you will get the deluxe package. Okay, so please take it away with your story time.
Story time with Rachel. Okay, so I have this really old couch. It's actually from my grandma. It's like a 3rd generational couch at this point, and I'm getting new furniture. So my brother asked, can I have this couch? Which to me is super funny because my dad grew up on this couch, and then my grandma gave it to me because it was in her house, and then I had it, and then my brother wanted it for his shop. So being the great younger sister that I am, over Christmas break, I decided to ask my 2 friends, Ryan and Jordan, to help me load up this couch. Now, to kind of like paint the picture here, Ryan and Jordan are like ex-Marines, extremely intelligent, like really great, solid dudes.
And they are.
They are
Well
so
said.
great.
Yeah.
And I asked them to help me load up this couch. So we load up the couch and the like chair or whatever. We put the cushions down on the bottom and then the couch on top. And an important detail of this is the tailgate was shut on the truck, and it was sitting in there pretty solid.
Okay, wait, let's pause
Can I
in the story.
guess?
Hold on, let's pause the story. You already know where this is going, right? You know. When she's giving details like the back of the truck is closed and stuff,
Yes.
okay? So you get it. She's driving from Minnesota to Iowa,
Yep.
which is how long of a trip?
5 hours.
5 hours. Okay, let me ask a very valuable question that everyone is going to want to know. Did you tie it down?
Well, let me tell you, I asked Jordan and Ryan, and I like held up my ratchet straps, and I was like, "Should we tie this down?" And I quote Jordan, "Nah, it's not going anywhere."
Okay, was it snug in the, like, was there any wiggle room of the couch in the back of your,
Yeah.
like, inches or feet?
One side was maybe a foot or two.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the length, the back end of it,
Yeah.
right? Was it, like, smashed in there kind of
No.
good? Okay, some wiggle room. Okay,
Yeah.
so you proceed to head to Iowa. Everyone knows what's
Yep.
going to happen. So get to the spot where everybody knows, because this isn't the part where I'm going to ask you about it. The story gets a little bit crazier. So you're
Yeah.
going down the road. You're like,
Yep.
how many hours into the trip?
Well, an hour and a half down Highway 35, which, if you know, is like super straight, super fast, like going 75 miles per hour, decently busy, like decently. And it's before Christmas break, so, you know, there's state patrol out, like passing state patrol here, there, lots of people, kind of windy.
Yeah. So what happens?
Well, I am about to listen to great music. I'm like eating a chocolate bar and like about to have a great moment in my road trip when in my like rear view mirror, all of a sudden I see this blur somersaulting down the highway. And the worst part is like as I was watching it, like my mouth is probably like what? The chair lands in the right lane and the couch lands in the left lane.
Oh my god.
Okay, so it pops out. Now, I always wonder, how does furniture end up in the middle of the road? We now know, because people don't use ratchet straps. Oh, it'll be all right. So the question is, for you, this is where you get your chance to earn the deluxe package for your hair, is, did she, 1, turn around and go pick up the couch? 2, did she turn around, pick up the couch, or go to pick up the couch, and there were policemen there already, so she just drove away and left the couch in the middle of the road? Or 3, she called her parents and family to come help get the couch and chair out of the middle of the road? While you're putting your guesses in the chat room, we're going to show you pictures of where people are watching, okay? So, let's put up the pictures. Do we have pictures loaded up quite yet? Oh, we're still working on that. Okay, so
That's okay.
we got some people already. We're gonna read some people.
This was, I mean, Rachel, 10 out of 10 storytelling here.
Holly
That was
Mendenhall
really
said,
good.
Rachel, you're hilarious.
Yes.
Mary McClendon says she goes back and gets it, so she's saying you're a good. Yeah.
Good person.
Ryan says number 2.
I say number 2.
I like that. Like, Ryan is watching from such a far land at the moment. What time is it there, Ryan, right now? Well done. Matt Vernon says number 2. We got, not 2, somebody else making a different kind. We got a lot of 2s coming in.
Yeah.
What was number 2 again?
2 is where you go back and
The
there's
cops are there and you leave.
and cops are there and you leave. A lot of people are
I
saying you
would
don't
think
pick it
that
back
I
up.
would.
Wow,
Oh, we got Kara
That was
Adams
not
saying
my first
called
thought.
family. Okay,
Okay.
Joey, what'd you think she did?
I personally think well, I don't know if Rachel would do that though, but I think number 2. I'm just gonna go with it.
Okay, how
I
about
don't
Brian?
know.
Let's go to the tight shot.
Actually-
Brian, what do you think Rachel does?
I think number 3.
I think she goes back and gets it.
Goes back and gets it. Okay, Rachel, please do tell.
Well, first, I'm trying to think of the order I did here. First, I called my brother because I'm like, Ryan, like, my brother's name is Ryan too. It's like, you dummy, you told me to take this couch home and now it's like in the highway. What
So
do
it's
you
your
want me to
brother's
do?
fault.
You went
I
Ryan,
did.
your brother
This is,
first?
yeah, I mean, this is probably like our childhood playing out. Like, the
Yeah.
youngest daughter, like, blaming the
Yeah,
oldest.
a lot of layers there.
Yeah, a lot of layers, yeah. So first I frantically call my brother, then I frantically call my dad, then I frantically call Ryan, like, blaming him.
So you're okay. So you.
But I'm turning
I
around.
love it.
But it was so annoying. The next exit was like 5 miles away. So I'm just like, at this point, I think I stress ate my chocolate.
Oh my gosh.
I
Okay.
think I did. And then I turned around.
And.
Well, the cushions were still in the back of my truck. So I'm like, yeah, the evidence is here. And then the state patrol was driving down. So I'm like, man, like the state patrol is going to see me with the evidence in the back of the like, what do I do? And by the time I got there, the construction guys had already picked it up. I didn't even have a chance to go recover my couch.
So you have the cushions, no couch, and the police, and there you go. Police showed up.
So 2.
So it's number 2. If you guess 2, that means you have a really good chance. I think I got to thumb back through to see who said 2 first. But Ryan, you're not even close. You said number 2. You knew the story.
You knew the story, so we can't give it to you.
However, you do get mad points for where? Guatemala?
Guam.
Guam.
Yes, from watching from Guam.
Come on, that's
amazing.
amazing.
That is the best I told you so story ever.
Ever, yeah.
I said, the first thing I said was, I hope you called them and said, I told you.
What is going on? Okay, I think Mary McClendon was the first one to say 2. Yeah, oh no, she said number 1. So sorry. Matt Vernon says 2. We'll have to double check if Matt wins. Okay. Are we ready with the pictures at the moment? We got them thumbs up. Let's show them. Thank you, Rachel.
Faces.
All right, let's see some faces. Who's watching where? Let's click some of those pictures. We're anticipating it as well.
Much who's it going to be?
Hey!
Josh and Sarah.
With their kitty cat Tug.
Okay, we got a cat in the house today. Woo!
I love it. You guys look so cozy.
Hey, there's the
girls.
Look at that. Look at
Gosh,
that
that
cozy kid on
basement
the
looks
left
really
side.
good.
Wow. Yeah.
That is great.
Looks
It's coming
amazing.
together. Okay. I don't know how many we got loaded up. Wait, who is that?
Who's that?
Oh, right, and a dog.
Could that be Little Miss
Is that
Bennington? I wonder.
We're all
That's
trying to
Eric
figure
and
out.
Emily's daughter.
I don't know.
Yeah, and dog.
Baby.
So much fun. I like the shirt.
We're watching through the screen here.
Hey,
He's
Tennessee.
rocking a Tennessee sweatshirt. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Let's go.
Thank you for sending in the pictures. We got more pictures we'll put up later. We are
Yes.
Packers!
Packers
Oh man,
fans.
snuck that run in there last minute.
Oh boy, good luck today, guys.
All the Packer fans out
Hey.
there. Let's go, cheeseheads.
I'm going.
I don't know. Like my deal is if I wanted to root for him, you say Skol because I'm a Viking fan. Skol, Vikings.
Cheeseheads.
What do you say?
They just say Aaron Rodgers.
No, they say go Pack, go.
All right.
Joey,
go
that was
back,
too
go.
passionate, man.
I'm going for Green Bay.
You bleed purple, man. Right?
I don't
Brian,
bleed
what
any color.
What are you saying? Who
I
are
bleed
you
red
pulling
like
in football
everybody.
games today?
Like, let's see either Packers. Well, I guess they're playing each other. I was gonna say Packers or Tampa Bay, but they're playing each
So
other.
hey, either one.
I just hope so.
I guess I can't be
An
disappointed.
NFC team.
Way to not be disappointed. And then I would say the AFC. I would love to see Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes. Okay, we have another video for you. We talked a lot there, but the band's coming
That
up.
was so fun.
It was.
so
Hopefully,
fun.
you like story time. We'll announce right after this. Kristen will let you know before she sings who's winning the deluxe package because we'll look through the text here. Okay, but we are gonna bring up Jenny and the band, and we're gonna sing "Good Grace." And wherever you are, I hope you turn it right up and enjoy. Thanks for being with us in the chat. Enjoy this video as it just gets us ready to start to think about, okay, where is God in my life? What does Jesus mean to me? So check this video out, and the band will be right up. Enjoy.
We are often told God loves you. But what does that really mean? That some impersonal force, galaxies away, may consider you from time to time? Or that you are a single drop in a vast ocean of humanity and God cares for all of it? There are billions of lives, billions of stories. Can we really believe He has great destinies planned for all of them? Surely the ruler of the universe has more important affairs than to notice the needs of one singular individual. But hear this, nothing could be further from the truth. When God says, I love you, it means that He crafted every detail of your being. Your every feature is His perfect design. His mind perceives your worries and your thoughts. His heart is broken by your pain. You are His child, created in His image. Your value exceeds all the riches of earth. Your worth extends beyond the stars. And though you may be unaware, He's carefully constructing the events of your life to build His kingdom. If you are willing, He can and will achieve wonders through your hands. It is the deepest passion, the most meaningful promise. It is your security, your hope, and your future. It is the truth beyond doubt. God loves you.
All right, we're going to get ready to worship. And the winner from last week on Screen Time is Somerville. Congratulations. And the winner this week is Matt Vernon and Amanda. And we're going to get ready to sing. Here we go. Come together, strange as neighbors. Our blood is one. Children, generations of every nation, of kingdom come. So don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high, don't fear no evil. Fix your eyes on this one truth. God is madly in love with you. Take courage, hold on, be strong. Remember where help comes from. Whoa, whoa, Jesus, our redemption, our salvation is in His blood. Jesus, light of heaven, friend forever, His kingdom come. Don't let your heart be troubled. Don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high, don't fear no evil. Fix your eyes on this one truth. God is madly in love with you. So take courage, hold on, be strong. Remember where our help comes from. Oh, oh, oh. As you just take this time, I just want you guys to just focus on Jesus right now. Listen to the words. He is madly in love with you, and there's so much love that it covers anything you could have done. So swing wide, all you heavens. Let the grace go up as the walls come down. All creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All His children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. So swing wide, all you heavens. Let the praise go up as the walls come down. All creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All His children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. Swing wide, one more time. So swing wide, all you heavens. Let the praise go up as the walls come down. All creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All His children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. Oh, 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 oh.
All you heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. All creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All his children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. Jesus, our redemption, our salvation is in his blood. Jesus, light of heaven, friend forever, his kingdom come.
I hope you guys enjoyed worshiping with us today. I love having Ginny here. It's always such a treat. And I always love Zach's comment. He's always like, that's my hot wife up there. And he's right. And he's totally right. I hope you guys enjoyed worship. If you didn't catch the winners in the beginning of worship, it is Summer Beal for last week guessing the right amount of screen time. And then this week, Matt Vernon won, which we're assuming you're going to give this beautiful, wonderful, pampering deluxe package to your wife for her to enjoy. But those are the winners. We will contact you guys and let you know all the details about that. But going into Scott's teaching, here is an awesome video about clay and kind of what it represents. It's kind of tying a couple things together. So let's watch that.
We are like clay, static, unrecognizable, nothing. A formless mass with no direction, no purpose, no meaning. We are like clay, pliable, movable, moldable. In the hands of the Creator, we can be changed, made beautiful, given life. Nothing becomes something extraordinary. The transformation takes time. The process is tedious, difficult, painstaking. But soon, we see the beginnings of something wonderful. The formless takes shape. The unrecognizable finds its identity. The meaningless is given purpose. From nothing comes beauty. We are like clay, each piece different than the next, given unlimited potential in the hands of the potter.
Oh, that song is so good. Oh, I love that song. Hey, if you are brand new to Unlock Church Online, welcome. My name is Scott Mendenhall. So stoked to have you with us. We are a church that's located in Minnesota, and we have been online for almost 11 months. But very soon, we'll be announcing the new location and all of those great things in Maple Grove. We're stoked on it. So hang tight with us. We are on the hunt for a building. We are pushing forward to that. So we'll tell you what it looks like and what it's going to be like in a couple more weeks. So make sure you're always paying attention to your emails and always logging in on Sunday at 10:15. We'll see you here. It sounds like a wrap-up, but I'm just getting started. Our hopes is in the hour with us is to connect you with Jesus in some form through videos, laughter, giving you escape from the reality of the world that we live in, which is chaotic, wherever you are. I mean, this is 2020 to 2021, it's like it's a blur of the same year, same stuff. Like you just have all these things that are stealing your attention and stealing your fear or giving you fear, feeding your fear, your worry and anxiety. It's just been a crazy whirlwind of things, and our hopes is to give you escape from that, point you in the direction of truth. And we were asked in the chat, how is it that we always seem put together? I'm going to say they didn't write it, but I'm always happy and excited and always positive despite all the chaos and craziness, and even when tragedy strikes or an event like somebody falling off their one wheel and not knowing if they're okay yet, how can you still be somewhat positive and put together? We're going to talk about those things. I would illustrate what someone is asking, how is it that you're not a hot mess? Like, why don't we see you as a hot mess? One, because the cameras are rolling. We don't film hot messes. Two, we do, but that's a little bit of a joke. But even we're using the word hot mess because we're talking about it today, how to manage your hot mess and other people's hot mess. We need a definition of a hot mess because you know what? In the early 1900s, a hot mess was a food item. It was your hot tray, your hot mess was in the mess hall and you got hot food. That's what a hot mess was. But that's not what we're talking about today. Like if your grandparents or your granddad or something was in World War I or II, they would go to the mess hall and get a hot mess. We're talking about hot mess in a different way. And I brought somebody in here that I think knows what a hot mess is, not because they are, but because they just know. Lily!
Let's be a little more honest here, Scott.
What is in your definition, a hot mess?
I mean, I will first say that the only way I can be up here right now is because I have personal experience with this topic. Probably like within the last 24 hours I've had experience. But I've been thinking, like, how do I define this? I think this person, when they are a hot mess, there is evidence that they are chaotic, frantic even, and you see it. But somehow they're smiling.
Yes.
That's what I'm going to go with. Like, they're frantic. It's kind of like I picture myself walking in somewhere with a billion bags, like I'm a hot mess, but I'm like, hi. I'm like, hair's all crazy. Like, that's what I picture as a hot mess.
But I do remember a day.
That's like most days for me.
Yeah, I do remember as we go to the White Shot, I do remember days where you have rolled into the office. It's like, whoa, you're looking like a hot mess. And you're like, why would you say that? And it's because you got like your hands full and your hair's kind of everywhere. You're like, well, it's been one of those days.
Yeah.
And so
but somehow still smiling?
Still smiling. Yeah. I wrote it in my notes, and she did not read my notes, but in my notes, I said, today it means your life is a wreck, but you're still smiling and you're still looking good. You're an attractive disaster.
Love that.
That is what a hot mess is, that you're an attractive disaster, okay? So it's cool to be a hot mess, okay? It is, and I say that a little bit tongue-in-cheek. It's not really what anybody wants to be. We don't want to be a hot mess. We don't want to. We don't even want to manage other people's hot messes. You're like, why? Like Lily, when you got other people in your life that are a hot mess, what do you feel like? Joey, I'm coming to you next, so prepare, my friend.
So when people around me are a hot mess, what do I feel?
Like when you're interacting with somebody that's a hot mess, how does that make you feel?
I think my first reaction is like, how can I help you make this better?
That is your genuine first response.
Like how can I help you fix this? And that doesn't always come across initially, but yeah.
That's your first response. Okay, so we're going to bring Joey out just so we're not always just putting on... We get Joey, and he even was like, oh man, you're going to put me on the camera and ask me a hot mess. Joey, have you ever been a hot mess, like, in your life?
Absolutely. I have definitely been a hot mess. Now, if you ask me when, at the moment, I can't think of that moment, but I know it's probably because I'm a hot mess most of my life. So I'm sure that's probably why I don't remember, because I'm just constantly in it.
I think my thought is that most people are in an attractive disaster moment in their life. They were just all hot messes. And the beauty is we only recognize a mess because we know what a mess looks like because of our own life. So well done. Joey didn't see my notes either. He just, thank you, Joey. That was it. You're free. He's like, whoo, that was easy. And now everybody in the studio, they're like, is this a day Scott's just going to bring us all up and put us on the spot? It could happen. It could happen. But here's what I've learned about hot messes is that we all share this trait. We all have seasons, moments in hot messes. Like, we just try to hide it better than others. We don't want, last week we talked about being vulnerable. We don't want to be vulnerable and talk about, well, this is why. We just want to hide it. We want to be an attractive disaster. We want to make sure we look good while walking through those things in our lives, which is okay, but it's also dangerous because then you're hiding what you're going through. And here's what really the danger of is when we hide our ability to be a hot mess, then we run into somebody that is a hot mess and we get really frustrated with them and we have zero grace for them. We're like, just pull your stuff together. Like, stop. The world's not ending. Stop being a baby. Don't be fearful. Don't be angsty. Don't be nasty. Don't be mean. We don't give the amount of grace to the individual as we give ourselves. Have you ever noticed that? Like, we judge ourselves on our thoughts our intentions, not what our actions are. But when we go and look at somebody else's life, we only look at their actions and not their intentions. It's just the difference. It's like, I'm going to get in shape. And so we feel like we're on the road to being healthier. Like, I'm thinking about getting in shape. I'm reading some books about, or I'm listening to podcasts about healthy eating while eating a nice slice of pizza. Oh, that sounds so good right now. But we're sitting there like, our intentions is one day I'll get healthy. But then we look across the room and we see somebody eating greasy McDonald's and we're like, that person needs to get their stuff together, eating like garbage. We're judging their actions, but we're judging ourselves, our intentions, and that's dangerous. And so today my host is to give us some simple ways to handle our hot mess and other people's hot messes, okay? That's the idea, is both sides recognize first and foremost that you're a hot mess. Okay, maybe if you would be so bold as we switch to this camera, be so bold would you just write in the chat right now, would you admit that you're a hot mess? Just get it out there. Just write, I am an attractive disaster. It will be fun. It'll just get it right off your chest. You will admit that you are an attractive disaster. I am a hot mess. I'm putting my hand in there. I, Scott Mendenhall, am a hot mess. Okay, I just smile while going through the mess, okay? That's it. And sometimes I might even comb my hair while it's happening. I'm a hot mess. Maybe in your life, maybe you're sitting going, well, no, my stuff's put together. Okay, so let me give you some context. Is your entire family life at 100% status level? Like, woo, everything's great. I'm in great relationship with my parents. I haven't had an argument with them ever. My boyfriend or girlfriend, we're really good. We've not had a fight in the last year about nothing. We've not even raised our voice. Parents, I mean, if you're not a hot mess and you're a parent, well, please write a book about it. Like, moms and dads, have you raised your voice at your kids? Have they frustrated you in the last 5 minutes? Some of you that are watching right now, you've told your kids to sit down or stop running on the couch like repeatedly, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till they're grown up and moved out of the house. Let's just be honest, right? I'm trying to make sure that we all realize that we are a hot mess. Maybe you're a college student and your GPA isn't what you wanted it to be. You're like, it's a little bit less than I thought it should be. Maybe your health isn't at the level you want it to be. You're like, okay, some of my numbers, my cholesterol level's low or high. I guess high would be more out of whack than low, but maybe your sugars are high or low. Your health isn't what you need to be. Your work, your goal, somewhere in your life, you are a hot mess, okay? If I can be so bold. But here's the deal. The good news is there's someone whose life is a bigger mess than yours. That's the truth. Your mess isn't as big as somebody else. Now, if that just gave you some kind of peace, you're like, oh yeah, that feels really good. Somebody else's life is more a mess than mine. Check your heart, because we don't compare our lives to other people, because that's dangerous. That doesn't allow us to change. That doesn't allow us to move forward in life. What it does is allows us to be at status quo level. As long as I'm better than someone else, we call that living in the land of where as long as I'm better, thinner, faster, have more money, then I'm good. But there's always going to be somebody that has more than you. And the real goal we always are after, I just want to be the est. I want to be the thinnest, the fastest, the richest. That's what we want. And so it's dangerous to live in the land of The real good news is that it's not just you that you're a hot mess. You're not alone. Mess is what brings us together today. It's true. We're all hanging around today in a chat room talking about life and wanting to get connected with people so that we can learn from other people's messes. I was asked the other day, one of our young people asked for some advice. And they're like, okay, Scott, I'm just going to be honest. I usually argue with your wisdom and you're always right. And I was not, let me make sure you understand, I was not in this conversation going, I'm right and I'll do what I'm saying. No, I just sharing, and they shared back, yeah, you're always right. And I said, it's because of 40 some years of living. I have some experience. 2, I have been a pastor for 20 plus years. I've watched a lot of people in their messes do it right and wrong. And I've just tried to take what they've done right and try to apply it in my life and share with other people that I've watched other people do it right in the messes. And so today when I share things, or even months from now I share things, it's not always about my experience that I'm sharing. It's what I've watched other people do and get it right or wrong. And I'm trying to teach other people, hey, this is what Jesus says on this topic, and you can be set free and experience this grace that's new every day. I'm trying to teach those principles so that we don't have to walk through being a hot mess all the time. There's freedom in it. I mean, here's the truth, is that hot messes start at a very young age. Yesterday, we had Greatness and Inspire. They're two of our boys. They typically flow from mess to hot mess to hotter mess. Just, they are 100% whatever they're into. It's like 100%, woo, life is great. 100%, sucks. And so yesterday, Inspire, he got a new remote control car, and he's driving around the house, and Greatness is walking to his back to Inspire. Inspire drives his car towards Greatness, and Greatness steps on his car, which now Spy's car doesn't turn left any longer, and he had just gotten it. It's like 24 hours old, and Greatness accidentally steps on it, and it won't turn left. And Inspire just loses it. He's like, oh, you're the worst brother ever. You just broke my car. Calls him all kinds of names, yells at him like his face is turning all shades of red. He's just losing his mind. And Holly steps in and goes, what's going on? He's like, Greatness broke my car. And he made it sound like that Greatness maliciously stepped on his car. And we find out he just drove it underneath his feet, couldn't see, stepped on it. Greatness is like, I just got my car from Amazon. You can have my car. Like, that's Greatness doing that right there. You can have my car. And Inspire was like, I don't want your car. I want my car. And so Holly just kind of steps in and goes, hey, it was an accident. We'll get Dad to look at it and fix it when he gets some time. Let's take it upstairs. And Inspire, in his moment of hot mess, goes upstairs, sets the car down, and then just steps on it. Poof! Just drives his foot on it. Because he was so upset. Just made the mess even messier, because now it requires like super glue and things that are not just me undoing a few parts and putting it back on. It's like, it's now like, it's unreturnable. It's in pieces, and it's like, you just made your mess messier. What happens in life when we allow our hot messes to get the best of us, it gets messier, and it goes from an attractive disaster to a pitfall of, I am stuck in my mess. How do I only see life in my mess. That's my perspective. Now, some of us are like Greatness, who watched someone go down the road of hot mess to not an attractive mess any longer. And you're like, ugh. Like, why would you behave like that? Greatness was like, what's his problem? Like, Greatness, if you know him, gives this face of disgust, like, what's he doing? Why is he acting like that? Well, fast forward within like 20 minutes, Greatness now is upset about something else, nothing to do with his car. He's upset, and he goes and tears up a Christmas gift that he loved. He was angry. He went up and teared something up, and he's like, oh, I can't believe that I can't do this. And out of anger and his hot mess, he makes his mess messier, because now Mom and Dad step in and go, that is not okay. You just watched your brother step on his car, and now you go in here and rip up your a book that you got for Christmas. That's not okay. You're making your life messier with your decisions and choices. But he didn't see that it was identical to what his big brother did. He didn't see that it was the same thing, because he saw it differently. He didn't see that it was a mess and it was making his life more messy. He was judging himself on a different standard than other people. My hopes today is that we recognize, yes, we are a hot mess, and because of our hot mess, we give grace to other people that are going through some things. Instead of calling them out, they should have their stuff together, and getting irritated with them, we step in and go, how can I help them? We see a need and we meet a need. That's our hope, okay? We need to be the students, not critics, when it comes to other people's messes. That's what I wrote in my notes. We need to be the students, not critics, when it comes to other people's messes, meaning we need to ask questions. Okay, what's going on? How can I help you? How do I bring down the temperature? How do I make it not more messy? How do I help clean up somebody's life? How do I keep smiling? Why do I come into those moments that you might have saw in the one-wheel race earlier where it's tense? It's like you're on the tip of the needle. It could go either way, where everybody could freak out and lose their minds, like, oh gosh, this is worst case ever. Or it's going to go, everybody keeps their stuff together. I can roll in and I can diffuse the situation and make clear decisions, or I can come in and add kindling to the fire and blow it up and it gets out of control. I try to, not always getting it right, but to roll into a situation and say, how do we diffuse this? How do we make sure everyone's okay, keeping everyone safe? How do we keep everyone's attention on the main thing? And oftentimes, when it's not in physical pain, the main thing is Jesus, right? Keeping the attention, what would Jesus do here? What's love require us to do? When in these one-wheel races where somebody's actually physically hurt, right? It's, let's make sure they're okay, that they're not bleeding out, that they don't have a bone sticking out in a spot, which is, I think that I remember when Lily got hurt and I asked, Lily, is anything sticking out? And she's like, yeah, I think so. And I came over there and nothing was actually sticking out. It was a cut. It was just a big cut with lots of stitches and gruesome. You should watch that video later. But when I roll in those situations, it's diffusing the hot mess. I want to be a student, not a critic. Oh, Kristen, you shouldn't have rode through pushback. You should have slowed down, right? How are you doing, Kristen? What hurts? Let's get you to a place that you can check out your injuries so we can make sure we're okay. Then we got to, you were going really fast. We need to be students and not critics when it comes to other people's messes. When we hear the whole story of people's messes, we react differently. We have compassion and not judgment when we get the whole story. So if you find yourself irritated with someone, you find yourself wanting to poke somebody in the eye, ask questions, what's going on in their life? Because you might find out someone might have just passed away. Someone might have been diagnosed with something that's not thrilling. They might be struggling financially. But to ask questions allows you to be the student and not the critics. See, followers of Jesus, okay? I'm talking to those that are followers of Jesus. Maybe today you're like, I'm on the fence on that. That's great. Ask questions about Jesus and make an educated decision of who Jesus is in your life. And then when you become a follower of Jesus, go all out, 100%. The mess that brings us together is the mess that brought God near through Jesus. The mess is that we've all messed up, that we're not perfect. That's what brings us together. The common denominator of follower of Jesus is, yeah, my hot mess got me into trouble. Might have been 16, might have been 20, your early 20s, your late 20s. You made some decisions that you knew weren't right morally and ethically, and you hurt yourself and hurt other people, and you're like, I need forgiveness. I need salvation. That's what brings us together, is that Jesus is salvation. That's what brings us in right standing with God. So when our hot mess, like taking back to Greatness and Inspire story, the reaction of I'm sad and upset that my car is broken, okay. Where it turned into a problem was when it kept getting bigger and Inspire turned into rage and anger, and he lost control of his body, puts his car down and smashes it. That's where we enter into, the mess comes into an unattractive mess. And it actually, because God talks about being slow to get anger, or to be angry, to lose our temper. It's not wrong to be mad. Actually, sometimes our anger can be something that would bring on change, right? Sometimes I'm angry at how people get treated. That means I see injustice. I'm going to step in and help those people. And I'm not going to do it in a way that's going to make the mess bigger or a problem. What I'm going to do is step in and diffuse the situation. I'm not going to come in there and blow it up. When we step in anger and blow things up, it becomes a sin. When we're driven by anger, that makes things messier, that we lose control of our body, because over 365 times the Bible talks about be in control of your mouth, your mind, your body. Be in control. And when we lose our temper quickly, we lose control of our tongue, our mind, and our hands. I mean, I grew up with a dad that punched holes in walls. To me, that is a sign of you've lost control. And when we lose control, we're not doing what the authors in the Bible record Jesus talking about being in control. And so when we lose control like that, we need to turn around and say, ask forgiveness of that, make it right. And the bridge back to being in right position with God is Jesus. Because when we do wrong, the big church word would be sin. When we sin, we create separation between God and other people. Now, how do we come back? Jesus is the bridge between the gap. It's like you understand it as parents. What are you trying to do when your child does something wrong? You try to teach them how to restore the relationship. That should be the intention every time with a child, is that when there is a fallout, like when my kids choose to lie to each other, now there is a fallout between each other, and there needs to be a bridge back to bringing the relationship back together. It's not, go, you lied, now here's time out. That is not, we need to teach them that when we lie, we create separation between us and God and other people. And we need to get back into right standing with each other. So now there needs to be an apology with each other. There needs to be, will you forgive me? And then what can I do to make it up to you? So as parents, we always want to look at, is this a relationship problem? In making sure we restore the relationship, because if we teach them at a young age to go and restore all relationships, when they're working in a job and there's co-worker problems, they're going to restore the relationship. They're not going to put themselves in timeout and go, I'm just going to calm down. It's, I'm going to restore the relationship. Now I understand raising children, sometimes yes, they need space to go calm down, but there always needs to be restoration of the relationship. When there is separation, restore the relationship. Teach your kids to restore the relationship with you and their siblings and with God. It's important. That's why when we know we do wrong, we need to restore ourselves back into a relationship with Jesus or God through Jesus, asking forgiveness. When we recognize that we're a hot mess, how do we fix our hot mess? How do we tap into the grace that Jesus has to put us back into right standing and recognize that, hey, we're not going to get it right. Our intentions is to get it right, but we're going to miss it. And when we miss it, we tap into the grace. See, the mess is the lens through which we discover Jesus. If we truly look at our messes, we understand that we can't do anything about it, and that's how we discover Jesus. Maybe you're watching today, and you're going, yeah, I'm a hot mess. There are things in my life way out of control. I've lost it. I too much. What do I need? Jesus is the grace that you need in your life, because you can't drink it your way back. You can't drug yourself back. It is only way is through Jesus. To see a mess is to step into the right direction of becoming a follower of Jesus. Recognizing that there's a problem, an issue begins going in the right direction. You begin to see that you can't clean it up without help. That's the beauty of recognizing the messes in our lives, is that we realize there's nothing I can actually do to get this clean. I need someone to clean the slate of my past, of the things I've seen. I need a clean, fresh start. We all need it. And then when we get it, or somebody else, then we got to go, okay, hey, I know that individual's past, but I'm not going to judge them from it because Jesus stepped in. I was just sharing the other day, I have some, I wouldn't call them friends, I just know of them when we worked in Florida and stuff, where this is a relationship that you look and go, wow, this set of parents, they just got it together. They must have grown up and been perfect all their lives. And you start hearing their stories, and the husband was in prison for quite a bit of time, and the wife was a prostitute at one point, and you're like, wait, that's not the picture I see when I see you. And then you realize that Jesus intersected their life at some point, and they were forgiven of their past, and they walked in the truth of who Jesus was because he set them free of all of their baggage in their life. I just watched the way they parented, and I was like, wow, you just must have grown up in the church, and you realize they found Jesus lay in their 20s, and they had a whole bunch of what we'd say mess. And then you go, wow, you are a perfect illustration of what Jesus does. That Jesus steps in and forgives us of our messes so that we can move forward and not live a life of guilt and shame of what we did and said and all those things, that he sets us free. Now, they were always very clear that they do have days where they are embarrassed from their past and that they had wished they had not, but then they always are reminded of Jesus' grace is brand new every day, and they tap into it all the time, and they're going to parent through the lens of Jesus, not in the lens of, well, you know what, we did all kinds of wrong things, so we're going to tell our teenagers it's okay. We understand. We cross all kinds of lies. I stole a car, so if you want to steal a car, that's fine. They didn't parent like that. They parent with Jesus principles, going, hey, these are the principles Jesus asks us to live by. They didn't parent out of, well, I have no right. I didn't do it right. Oftentimes as parents, we parent on the, I have no leverage on this because I do it right. Don't parent out of that. Parent out of, you know the truth, and teach your kids that. Here's the illustration I want to think about in this. When I recognize a hot mess on somebody, I better make sure that I got my mess sorted out. Because if I go and help them, and I am a hot mess and I fall all apart, I'm actually endangering both of us now, because now that individual goes, look, your life is in shambles and you're trying to it's the illustration on an airplane when a bunch of people would fly all the time, right? And somebody would come on and go, hey, here's the rules of flying. You know, if we get to a place where we lose oxygen in the cabin, these things are going to fall from the sky. Put yours on first and then put the one on next to you. And I don't know if you've ever flown with your kids, but you're always like, I'm going to put mine on my kid first because that just makes sense. I'm going to then take care of myself. But what happens is when you go to help the person next to you and you can't breathe and you pass out and you never got the oxygen, and all of a sudden you become a bigger issue, and now all of a sudden you endanger both. By putting the oxygen mask quickly on you and then taking the person next to you, it allows you to make sure that you're there for more people and help more people. So don't look at other people's messes today and go, I hope that person sorts out their mess. You need to look at your mess and you need to sort it out. And you need to be a truth teller to yourself. As I get real close to this and I make sure that I'm in focus, let's see if I can do that. You need to pay attention to your mess and sort it out first. Don't try to fix your coworker, your spouse's mess. This is your messy. What is it that you're messy in? And don't go, oh man, I'm pretty good. We all have messes. We all are messy people. Okay, let me get back to the normal. I think I'm in focus. Somebody else will sort it out. Let me read in Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 really quick. As we set it up, here it is. These are Jesus' words. Matthew records them. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eyes and pay no attention at the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let's take this speck out of your eye, and all the time there's a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the plank out of your own eye, and you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. I just like that. It's like the best illustration you can come up with this whole deal. Fix your issues. And then when you get that sorted out, then step into other people's issues. Take care, pay attention to be vulnerable and ask for help with yours. Okay? When you are upset at your spouse, coworker, mom, dad, police, kids, political people, may those times remind you that you need to deal with your messes. When you're irritated by somebody, may it be reminded to you, I got to sort where am I a mess, and go work on that. You know why Jesus says this is because Jesus is like, listen, I want you to deal with your issues on the inside. We're not talking about seeing the immediate needs. Someone's got a broke down car, go help them. If someone needs money, give them money. If someone needs food, give them food. They need clothes, give them clothes. We're not talking about make sure you have all that stuff. We're talking about the inside hot mess stuff you got going. Sort out your people problems. Sort out the anxiety first, your work, your anger. Sort it out first before calling out somebody else on it. And when you recognize somebody else's mess, you look at your mess and go, where am I messy? And focus. Because what it does is it constantly gets you to turn in and fix your mess so that you allow Jesus to work on that individual and your individual. And when that individual comes and asks for help, then you step in and go, I have some advice for you. Because we want to step in and give unsolicited advice all the time. I mean, shoot, go on Facebook. People are giving advice all the time. Unwanted advice on everything. I raise 8 kids. People share their advice that they think it's wrong that we have 8 kids, that it's not fair for our kids because they're going to miss out on things. People are giving me advice all the time. It's like, what? Like, why? Why are my kids going to miss out on what? What are they? They have food and clothes and oxygen and a good time occasionally, I think. But there are people that are giving advice that I did not want. Holly will always talk about when we used to go to, or she would take the kids to Costco. People would always ask, are these all your kids? Like, did you birth all of these children? Like, that's not fair for all these kids. Like, you should only have 2 kids so you could really give them everything they want. And they would go in and ask, like, who's going to pay for all their colleges? And they just started getting up in what, I mean, come on. Parents of 8, we are a hot mess. We are the poster family of hot messes, okay? We understand that. And here people are jumping in trying to go, hey, we want to help you with your hot mess, but like they're giving advice like it would have been better to have only 2 kids instead of 8. And it's like, oh, you picked a 2 then, right? We're going to go down. Like, come on, this is silly advice. And we love having 8 kids. We have a party all the time. It's exciting. You don't know what's going to happen. Like today, I walked around the corner in a Revolution who's like 2 had taken a gallon of milk and dumped whatever was left on it on the table and then put cereal on top of it and was eating it off the table. And I just laughed at it. I was like, that's a hot mess right there. That is a hot mess. Thank you for the illustration, Revolution at 2 years old, putting Cheerio. I mean, he can't reach the bowls. The dude was just figuring it out. I'm going, look, number 8, figuring it out. He didn't go cry about not having cereal. He's like, I'm figuring it out. I don't need a bowl. So tomorrow, you know what we're going to do? We're going to eat our cereal tomorrow on the table. We're just going to pour it on the... This will be great. No more dishes. We got cats and dogs that lick up the milk off the ground. This is a great idea, don't you think, Holly? I know I'm a hot mess, Hal. Here, we all know this. We all fall short of something. No one's perfect. Paul writes in Romans chapter 3, verse 19, now we know that whatever the law says, it says to those who are under the law. And you're like, okay, where are you going with this? Why is the law coming into this? Is that if we can come back to me really quick, the religious leaders of those days, they had these laws that they made. They had 10 commandments, but then they were like, okay, how are we going to make sure that no one like really breaks the 10 commandments? They made these laws to make sure you stay far away from the law or the 10 commandments. So it was like, hey, honor the Sabbath, have a Sabbath, day off, don't work. Okay, but what's work? Is me walking through a field and picking some wheat and eating it considered work? And so they're like, okay, we'll define work like this. If you go up a floor, that's work, so you got to stay on the main level. If you do this is work. And so they make all these man-made laws to keep you away from the idea where Jesus is like, hey, take a day off. Or God was saying, take a day off. So man-made law. And so Paul comes in and goes, okay, listen, if you're underneath this law, so he says, now, we know that whatever the law says, it says to those who are under the law. So if you're going to live under the law, it's saying to you. This is Paul's nice way of saying if you're under the law, it's over you. It's like all the race rules that we have. That is over all of us. We have to abide by them. That's what creates the pressure of, okay, Kristen is still the fox because the rules are it has to be pulled from her while on a one wheel. It's over us. The law is over us, creating pressure. Jesus says, love your neighbor as yourself. That is, he sums it all. He goes, that's what we're all to be doing. Love God with all of your heart and mind and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. Those are the 3 things we're supposed to do, but no one's perfect. There is nobody that is perfect. And Paul continues as we wrap this up in Romans 3, verse 19. Now we know that whatever the law says, it says to those who are under the law so that every mouth may be silent and the whole world held accountable to God. Therefore, no one will be declared righteous in God's sight by the works of the law. Rather than through the law, we become conscious of our sins. We become aware of our mess. The law, the love God with all your mind, soul, and strength, and your neighbor as yourself. I look at that going, that's hard. I mess that up all the time. I judge people all the time. I don't love my neighbor. My neighbor is everybody sitting here or online. I get it wrong. I judge sometimes. And it's like, oh man, I didn't get it right. I'm a hot mess. I recognize I need a savior. I'm reminded that I need help. I'm reminded I need Jesus. And so as we wrap this thing up, I want us to move into a direction of grace for other people that don't get it right. And they're a hot mess because we realize we are one. And then as we move in that direction for other people, may we then, when we recognize that we're a hot mess and we have things in our lives, may we do the necessary work to take care of the things in our lives that we are a hot mess. Maybe it is with a coworker. Maybe you need to have a conversation. Maybe it's a friend that's irritating you. Deal with your mess and then go have a conversation. Always out of love. And may we always be pointed to Jesus when we see a hot mess in somebody in our own lives. Going back to Jesus, we need Jesus in our lives. Let me pray really quick. Jesus, I thank you for the amazing team that's in this studio and those that are logged in all over. the world today. I thank you that you bring us together, that your word is still true, that it's still active, that it can change lives still. I ask that today that we would, if anything, just be reminded today, okay, we need to not judge other people. We need to not call people out on their messes, and we need to deal with our stuff. And we need to be a great steward of what you've given in our lives, that we would hate less, that we would be angry less, that we would be all the things that you've asked us to be. May today we realize that we need you more than ever before. Jesus, we need your grace and mercy as parents, as students, as friends, as co-workers. May this be something that is stitched in our DNA to not judge, that we recognize a mess, we would just be reminded to deal with our messes and allow you to mess or deal with other people's messes. Jesus, we love you. Thank you for a church that still meets together, still alive, making a difference in the world. We love you in your name. Amen. Thank you, everybody, for hanging with us today. We got Rachel back up over here. It's not story time this time with Rachel.
It could be.
It could be. Everybody loved the stories. They really did. But she's going to just do giving really quick, and then we have some really cool upcoming events that it's going to be meeting in person kind of stuff, so you're going to love it. Rachel, will you do giving really quick?
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Scott. All right, so we're reaching the end of the service. Don't mute me. Don't turn off the TV just because we're at the giving portion of the service. Hang with me for 1 second. I think that people sometimes tend to lean back. Ooh. I just fell off the step stool. Anyway, I think sometimes people lean back or can maybe step off the step when it comes to giving, but just imagine this is me simply setting the dinner table for you. I'm pulling out the chair for you to have a conversation with Jesus on this topic. And really, it's not me up here, it's not Scott up here or Unlock Church up here telling you or dictating to you what you need to do with your money or your resources. Again, if you just have a conversation with God on this topic today, that's a win. So I'll kick this off by saying that Jesus talked a lot about giving and tithing when he walked on earth. And one of my very favorite things that he talked about was where you store your treasures. Where you store your things is where you store your treasures, and you want to make sure that you're storing your treasures in places where it's eternal. They're not going to get eaten by moths or destroyed by time. And I think there's this really interesting saying that goes, the richest place in the world is the graveyard, right? You can't take what you have with you when you go. And so I just encourage you this morning to think about, where are you putting your brain space? What are you thinking about? Where are you putting your resources? Where are you stressing out? Are you stressed out and really gripping onto your resources and your money and your house and your car? I know sometimes, I just bought a house this fall, and it's so easy to get trapped into, I want new furniture, I want new this, I want new that. And it's just so important to think about, where are you storing up your resources? Where are you putting your treasures? Where are you putting your trust and your faith? And for me, tithing is an awesome way to do that. It's a way for me to say, all right, God, I'm giving back to you a portion of what is already yours, a portion of what you blessed me with and gave me the opportunity to manage. And I'm just so grateful to God for that opportunity. And I encourage you this morning to think about, where are you putting your resources, what is taking up your brain space. And like I said, if you just have a conversation with God on this topic today, that's a win. We are going to give you a couple different ways where you can act on this. You can go to unlockchurch.com. Oh, I always mess it up. .com? Is it com? .com. I feel like it should be .org. I don't know why. We're an organization, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it doesn't work like that, I guess. Or you can also text to unlock to 77977. That's an easy way. I'm a big sucker for the PushPay app. It's so easy, just put it on recurring. Don't have to think about it. Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yes.
All right, now I'm going to pray really quick, and then I'm going to kick it on over to upcoming events, like Scott said. All right, let's pray real quick. Hey, God, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here this morning. I thank you for all the people that are watching this and listening to this, and I just ask that you open our hearts and clear out our ears and open our eyes to see where you're working, and I just ask that you give us courage to take the next step in our relationship with you. In your perfect name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Rachel. You did a great job. Rachel, I'm watching you from the side here, and you're leaning in like this to the camera. Like,
Let's go!
Yeah, that's
I
right.
love that. The richest place in the world is a graveyard.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
so
heard
good,
that.
Rachel. I've not heard that. If we can get to the wide shot there, I think that's a great illustration.
Yeah,
That's so good. And then somebody in the chat, I think it was Drake, said, "Man, I like Rachel's energy."
Yes! Let's go!
Yeah, see, everybody gets amped in here. Everybody.
27, almost 27, and thriving.
Falling off of steps. Apparently, my balance.
I did
Yeah. Yeah, we have to put these ladies on apple boxes just because of the height stuff.
But I am the tallest of them. Let's just be.
She does want to claim that.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a lot of cool upcoming events happening, which we do have the DJ back in the back giving us some tunes. First thing is on Super Bowl Sunday, which is 2 Sundays from now.
February 7th.
We are going to do a chili cook-off and a hockey tournament outside. Everyone is invited. It will be an outside-only event. There will be porta potties.
Love that. It's going to be so frigid.
It's going to be cold.
It's going to be like a real quick, like, gotta pee, I'm done.
Yeah, if that happens. But we're just saying it's outside only. We are going to be hanging, doing a chili cook-off. It's going to be so much fun. So prepare your chili.
There's a trophy.
There will be a trophy. We'll hang out. It'll be from 12:30 till 3 o'clock on Super Bowl Sunday. So 2.5 hours of hanging out. If you would like to have the address of where that is, would you please text the number that will be on your screen right below here, as Legend's gonna put the number up for you. This number you can text, I want the address, and this week we'll send you the address of the location of the meeting in person. It'll be the first gathering we are doing in the new year, which we're really, or first time yet, I think.
Yes.
We're excited about it. And remember, we are going to create a safe environment. We can do these things because we fall underneath the mandate for churches. And so we're going to do that. We really want to work on unifying the church, not just Unlock Church, but the church is big in 2021. And so we're stoked on it.
It's going to be fun.
Joey, what do we have for students that following Friday?
Yes, for students. It is an outside event as well, but on February 12th, we're gonna have Winter Olympics for the students, or the students of the challenge. And it's gonna be a bunch of different challenges, different activities. We're gonna be in teams, and it's gonna be just a blast. We're gonna even do some worship outside, I think, as well. So it's gonna be fun. I'm super excited about that, but that is February 12th. That is a Friday. And so hope to see you there. It's gonna be our first event together in person in a while. So it'll be good.
When I think of the Olympics, you know that scene in The Office when they're like, you need to do that at the closing ceremonies. You need to have like the Yoplait like lids or whatever, and then the.
I like it. I don't know what you're talking about.
No idea what you're talking about, but I'm sure people are. We have some people from South Africa asking, what is a chili cook-off? Chili cook-off is where we make chili, like a soup, and then people eat it, and then they judge on which is the best chili. And so bring your crock pot. We'll have a generator outside that will keep the crock pots cranking the heat in it.
Yes.
And then we'll eat, play hockey. You can bring your skates, and you can bring your tennis shoes, because we'll do boot hockey as well.
Yeah.
And
or your boots.
Or your boots.
Right.
I think it's just called boot hockey.
I don't
That's
really
what they say.
know, but I
either.
just want to say if your chili has bacon in it, I'll vote for yours.
Wow, she's about fell off again. So make your own chili. It'll be a lot of fun. So this is obviously, if you're anywhere, you can fly and be here for it.
Yeah, coming up.
If you're local in Minnesota, show up and bring a chili.
Text the number.
Ready to eat. If you, text the number. We'll put it up there once again, so you can text, I'm coming, I'm bringing a chili, so we know how many power strips to have out there for you. We're stoked on it. And then we saw Kaylee, who is the current reigning champ. She's holding the trophy at home. She's saying, come at me now.
Let's go, Kaylee. I love that.
Okay, she did write that. So make a great chili. We'll be stoked on it, okay? Other than that, we have small groups that are happening that week as well. So Super Bowl really is kicking off a lot of things around here. We're really, really stoked on. So thank you everyone for being in the chat today. It looks like it's been on fire all day today.
So good.
So cool to see everybody
with you guys.
chatting with you. And it's just a bunch of hot mess people signing off today, saying we love you and we ain't got it together and we'll figure it out together. So have a great day. Stay safe. And this one is